Oh, yes. And so long as crystalline sulfur melts at 116 degrees centigrade, it'll be the most economical method of production. Yours sincerely. That takes care of Professor Lumsden. And now cable to Max Garner. Proceed to manifest soonest. Repeat soonest. Stop. Heinsdorf planning deal with Hassan. Stop. Learn and advise terms offered. And letter follows. Well, Jimmy, let's synchronize watches.
9:59 and 50 seconds.
Coming up to the hour. Check.
Check.
Let that be a lesson to you, Jimmy boy. You can always rely on Old Faithful, but never on a woman. Your rendezvous is exactly 10 minutes late. That'll be all, Pat. Thank you. Okay, Jimmy, let's see your itinerary. Westminster Abbey, Trafalgar Square, Buckingham Palace, Hyde Park. What's this, lunch? 2 helpings?
I get hungry, Dad.
St. Paul's and the Tower of London. Well, it's a pretty busy day. Now, don't be too hard on her because she's had a very tiring trip. Comics.
Finding closed copies of return notes regarding the last batch that I sent you.
Good morning, Miss Kennedy.
Oh, morning, Mr. Casey. Morning, Miss Kennedy. Good morning. Is my brother free?
Yes, go right in.
Oh, thank you. Hi.
Well, hello.
Hey, haven't you got a kiss for me? I'd like a word with you, James, before we go.
Okay, Jimmy, come on, boy. Give us 2 minutes alone.
Have you got 2 minutes?
I got 5.
Then back to business?
Mm-hmm.
When was it ever anything else? That was 4 years ago. You haven't taken a proper vacation since. You haven't been to New York, and what's worse, neither's Jimmy. Now, if you can't leave London because of business, that's no reason to penalize Jimmy.
Penalize?
Oh, the trip will do him good. He doesn't even know his American family, and I think he's old enough to appreciate them now. Oh, come on, James. Let me take him with me.
No. No, Ellen. That's final. He's all I have.
Well, there's no use arguing with you.
Not one little bit. Go on, have a nice day, and don't let him eat too much ice cream.
Hello, selenium chemicals.
Come on, Jimmy, honey. Show me the sights.
I'm having lunch today with Ahmed at the embassy. I hope to get the latest situation from him, yours sincerely, etc., etc.
We'll call to Paris, Mr. Kennedy.
Will you please arrange 3 seats Drury Lane Theater tomorrow night?
Very good, Mr. Kennedy.
Hello? Where's my Paris call?
I'm sorry, Mr. Kennedy. They've announced a delay.
Correspondence on the gypsum products?
Yes, sir. I've got it here.
Mr. Simmons. We'll deal with it later. Make a note to inform New York about the money for the Manifa deal. What is it?
My nephew. He's been kidnapped.
What?
2 men, they just pulled him into a taxi and drove away. And he's only a little boy.
Now, just a moment, madam. Did you know these men?
No, of course I don't know them. Why should they take my nephew in broad daylight like that?
Now, look, madam, we shan't be able to help you unless you try and remember everything.
It's awfully difficult. It happened so quickly. I must call his father.
What's the matter with me today?
A call for you, Mr. Kennedy, from Miss Helen.
Hello, is that you, James?
Yes?
Something terrible's been kidnapped. I know it sounds unbelievable, but it happened. He was just taking me across the road at Hyde Park Corner. I must have looked away for a moment, but it couldn't have been more than that. And suddenly there were these two men and pushing him into a taxi.
Take it easy, Helen. Where are you speaking from?
A police station, the Wellington Arch Police Station, Hyde Park Corner.
Wellington Arch Police Station, Hyde Park Corner.
Well, I don't have the number, but I guess they'll give it to me. I know I should have rung you immediately, but I thought that they should... Well, I thought it was important not to waste time. I knew you'd understand that. Oh, I just feel so awful.
Police Station, Hyde Park Corner.
Check for anything that'll identify him. Birthmarks, scars. Go through his pockets.
She probably just lost him. It's impossible.
No. She gets upset, but she doesn't imagine things. She saw it happen. Hello? Kennedy, yes. James Kennedy. My son. Could you give me details? I see. You sent her to Scotland Yard. Thank you. Pat, from now on, no more calls unless they deal with Jimmy.
I understand.
Have we got a clean folder?
There are some in the left-hand corner of the desk. And...
Yes?
Mr. Kennedy.
Thank you, Pat. Go in.
Miss Kennedy, sir. Inspector Hazelrig, man.
How do you do?
How do you do, Inspector? I don't know how to start telling you...
Of course, you must be very, very upset. Now, do please sit down and get your breath back. Cigarette?
Thank you.
Then we can see what we can do.
Oh, it's an awful thing. I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, in your statement, you say that two men pushed your nephew into a taxicab and drove away. Yes, you've given us a very good description of the men. I suppose it's too much to hope that you noticed the taxi number.
Oh, no, I'm afraid I didn't. It just happened so suddenly.
Of course. And then you telephoned your brother straight away.
Yes, I did.
Now, has he any other relatives in this country?
No, just me and Jimmy.
Well, I expect you'll be wanting to go back to him as soon as possible.
I suppose so. But when I rang him, he hung up on me.
I expect he was upset.
I don't know what to think. Then it's always been difficult to talk to him about his son.
Oh? Why?
Well, I wanted to take Jimmy back to America with me to see his family. They haven't seen him since he was a baby, and well, my brother just won't even consider it.
Sergeant.
Sir.
Will you go around and see Mr. Kennedy straight away?
Sir. Good afternoon, sir. I'm Detective Sergeant Plummer of Scotland Yard.
Any news?
I'm afraid not yet, sir. We have a statement from Miss Kennedy that your son, James Clayton Kennedy...
Yes,
Jr.
I know all about that.
What can you tell us, sir?
They left this morning at 10 to see the sights. That's it.
Have you any idea who might have taken your son?
Have you?
Oh, not yet, sir. We've got to get the facts first.
You have the facts.
Not all of them. Can you think of any reason or motive why anybody should take your boy?
You mean kidnap?
Kidnap, yes.
It's not a very familiar word here, is it?
Well, the holding of children for ransom doesn't happen very often. There may be other motives.
Yes? What?
A husband and wife may be divorced. The wife has the custody and the husband wants the child, or vice versa.
Mrs. Kennedy is dead.
I'm sorry, sir. Miss Kennedy tells me there was some disagreement about taking your son to America to see the family.
There was. Do you think my sister kidnapped my boy?
I did not say that, sir. Our job is to ask questions, but we must follow every possible lead.
Yes, but Sergeant, what you don't seem to understand, this can be a matter of life or death.
I think it's premature at this stage to assume that the worst has happened.
According to the record, and by your own admission, your acquaintance with kidnapping is practically nil. How the hell can you say whether it's premature or not?
We don't pretend to know, sir.
Say that again.
Anyway, we get a lot further with your help.
You do it your way, I'll do it mine.
What does that mean?
I have my own way of handling things.
I'm sure you had, sir.
Thank you for coming.
Very well, we won't trouble you any more, sir. For the present.
Well?
Nothing. Nothing at all. They think,
What are you going to do?
get me the commercial television people. What's that program? In London Tonight. I want to speak to the producer.
Didn't get very far with that one. Threw me out. Seems to think I ought to have the boy in my pocket.
What did you say to him?
I asked him about the family set up between he and his sister.
You think this is just a family row? Not a real kidnapping.
Do you? Well, the sister said the kidnappers use a taxi. Who in their right mind would use a taxi to pull a job like this? Who in their right mind would attempt a kidnapping in this country?
Looks as if somebody has.
Seriously, do you think this is the real thing?
Just been going through the only comparable reports on our records. The similarity between these cases and this business gives me a very uncomfortable feeling.
No. Kennedy's? Well, well, well. Thanks for telling me.
Kennedy's here.
Well, you might almost say he's everywhere at the moment.
Hmm?
Is a television set working in the recreation room?
Yes.
Let's have a look at it.
Son of the American industrial millionaire, had disappeared while walking with his aunt through London's Hyde Park. The latest report on the boy suggests that he may be the victim of a kidnapping. The child's father, Mr. James Kennedy, is here in the studio with me now.
Hey, what's all this about? Do you think he's going to...
If you listen, you'll find out what he's thinking.
Mr. Kennedy, you're convinced that your son is the victim of a kidnapping. Is it so?
Yes.
Have you any proof of this?
Proof? What do you mean?
Have you had a ransom note, for example?
No, I haven't. But I expect it momentarily from the person or persons who took my boy. And this is meant for them. I have what you want. You have what I want. As an American, I know what kidnapping means, or what kidnapping can mean. I'm leaving here, and I'm going directly to my office, listed in the directory under the name Selenium Chemicals. Please phone me as soon as possible. Give me your instructions, name your price, and I'll pay it without police interference. I am not working with the police, nor will I.
Kidnapping, fortunately, is a very rare...
What'd they cut him off for?
Let us hope in this case the police will soon effect an arrest.
Think he meant what he said?
Who said?
Kennedy. About not working with the police.
Don't make any difference. You get their assistance whether he wants it or not.
Well, we can at least tell him the price. He's certainly not ready to pay. Well, why not make the job quicker? Less risk.
We have all the time in the world.
Mr. Feist means the gentleman should sweat for a while. It'll make him more generous.
Kid's been fed
Did he eat all right?
like a horse. But he won't put the light out and go to bed.
Put the light up. Don't force him into bed. Don't force him to do anything. Just keep the door locked.
Hey, sing him to sleep.
All he needs is a belt on his head. He'd sleep.
If you mark that child in any way, Moonlight will beat you up very thoroughly.
I should like to see that.
Nothing's going to happen to that child.
Nothing, Mr. Feist.
Never.
Never is a long time.
I wonder if Kennedy realizes what obstructing justice can mean.
Doubt if he's given it a thought. If it were my kid, I wouldn't.
Nor would I. But it's his son's life if he goes about it in the wrong way.
What's the right way? Do you know that in America, in over 90% of the cases, the child has been killed by the kidnappers after the ransom has been received to avoid identification? Wonder if we could make them believe that we're not going to work with Kennedy.
You wanted to talk about young Jimmy.
That's it in a nutshell. Well, now, as you all know, when the boss came here first, I was gone past the retiring age. Well, he hadn't been in charge 2 days before he sent for me. I sailed into his office. Mr. Kennedy, says I, to save ourselves any mutual embarrassment, I'm here to offer me resignation. Says he, stop talking a lot of nonsense and get back to your work.
I know it'll be rude, Betty, but we've heard all this before.
Yes, every Christmas after a couple of drinks.
Oh, now, that's all right, but what I wanted to say is this. Now, we're all agreed the boss, he's a decent man, and I think we ought to offer to lend him a hand, just if he wants any help.
Well, that goes without saying. I don't see what we can do.
Well, I don't know either, but I know what Paddy means. He'd never ask us, but I'm sure it'd mean a lot to Mr. Kennedy if we, well, offered to help.
Give him some moral support.
Oh, there might be more to it than that. Now, we all saw him on the television.
Yes, but I don't see what he can do without the police. Of course, you can sympathize
The
with...
boss would never have said that unless he had a good idea in his mind as to what he was up to.
Oh, Mr. Kennedy, I've had quite a few calls. I've told them to ring back.
Oh, yes. And there'll be more. Now, listen very carefully. Don't put any calls through unless they can give you the make and serial number of Jimmy's watch. Pat, you give it to her and get it from Jimmy's file.
Yes, sir.
What's going on?
We saw the broadcast, Mr. Kennedy.
Oh.
Well, we thought we could help. Before long, we're going to be inundated with phone calls from every well-wisher, petty crook and crackpot in London.
Yes. I'll arrange a relief operator.
Well, wouldn't it be better to keep it in the family? We'll take it in shifts to answer the phone.
Well, I had planned on using the phone by the couch.
You must rest. You've got to be in top shape for tomorrow.
Yes, of course, you're right. But how can I ask the staff to stay on?
You don't have to. We're telling you, sir.
Okay. Get him something to eat.
Very good, Mr. Kennedy.
Get me my home. My sister. Pat, thank them for me.
Yes, sir.
Helen? Yes. I'm staying at the office. You'll be getting lots of calls. Put them through the board at the office. Yes. Of course I will. The moment I have news.
Just no, come on, outside. Now, gentlemen, outside. This isn't a circus. Come on.
Just a word with Mr. Kennedy.
Mr. Kennedy has seen nobody, and that's an order.
Oh, come on, son, everybody.
Take it easy. Take it easy. I've got a job to do.
Yeah, me too. Do you mind?
Keep your hands off.
No. You're sitting out this dance with me.
Oh, come
We don't want to have a fight with the press.
Let's get Miss Kennedy. We've got to get a picture of him.
Do you mind? I'll send you a copy.
What's your name, beautiful?
Willis. May Willis.
Nice one here, Joe. Your boss taking any calls from the kidnappers?
Oh, I can't say, really.
Can't or
Look,
mustn't?
I told you, definitely outside. Come on.
Another one. Now, look, sir, you're wasting your time. Mr. Kennedy is not seeing the press.
It's all right, I'm the police.
Is it true Kennedy won't cooperate with you?
Sorry, no comment. I'm Sergeant Plummer, Criminal Investigation Department. I wish to see Mr. Kennedy quickly. Well, come on, girl. This is urgent.
Yes? Is it urgent? Very well, send him in. Mr. Kennedy?
Yes?
That police sergeant, he's here again. He was very insistent.
Reporter's gone?
In case he got rid of one bunch, but some more have turned up.
Thank you, Pat.
Good morning, Mr. Kennedy.
Well, Sergeant?
It's about that statement you made on television last night.
Yes, what about it?
Well, sir, technically you're breaking the law. If your son has been kidnapped and you take action on your own without consulting the police, you can be charged.
I can be what?
Charged for obstructing justice.
Get out.
Obstructing justice is a very serious offense. I hope you won't have cause to regret this. I'm going now, but...
And don't come back unless you have a warrant.
That's our story. Come on.
Your typewriter's okay, miss. Sign, please. How do you do?
I don't want to see the police. Not you, not the sergeant, no one. You heard what I told Plummer.
Yes, that was excellent. You know, I really think we might succeed in getting away with it. Well, you understand, of course, that little scene with Sergeant Plummer was arranged for the benefit of the press.
Inspector Hazelrig. Would you explain? Pat.
Attractive girl.
Sit down, Inspector.
Thank you. Oh, I didn't damage your typewriter. I always believe in leaving things to experts.
You need a lot of experience before calling yourself an expert. Now, about the press, what did you mean?
Well, I entirely agree with you. I think it could easily be to our mutual advantage if people think we are not working together.
We're not.
Mr. Kennedy, you don't seriously imagine that the police are going to sit down and do nothing.
I'll make myself very clear, Inspector. I work alone.
Tell me, how would you define Scotland Yard?
I'm not interested in riddles.
Particularly when you know the answers. Well, Scotland Yard is an organization for getting answers in the shortest possible time.
Yes, Inspector. And you usually get the right ones, sooner or later. I did some research last night with a friend. A boy is taken, a little girl of 7. The police are still making inquiries, but the children haven't been heard from since.
I'm afraid not. It's usually that way too in America, I believe. Mr. Kennedy, whatever your attitude may be towards the police, we've already taken action.
Oh?
And we've made some progress.
How?
Your sister didn't waste any time, you see. And thanks to her, we've been able to block every road, every station, every airport. With the result that we are pretty sure your son is still in London.
Inspector, if I were to go along with you, up to a point...
Well, that'd be better than nothing, wouldn't it?
All right. I will. Only on certain conditions.
Now, what do you mean by that?
I handle this as a business deal. I make the moves without police interference.
Any idea what your moves might be? You see, if we know what they are, it's quite possible that we might see it your way.
My way is a business way. The people who took my boy, they'll get paid. They always do. And
then he'll be killed. His kidnappers couldn't possibly risk his identifying them, you know.
That's why Jimmy's only chance is no police interference.
Mr. Kennedy, please believe me. The police are far more interested in saving your boy's life than in merely catching criminals. Right, well, I'll do everything in my power to make people believe that you're working entirely on your own. But we would like to install a private line between here and Scotland Yard so that you can ring me, or should you feel inclined, of course, without any outside interference. And should you get any interesting phone calls, please use your tape recorder. They tell me that Scotland Yard never forgets a voice or a face, Inspector. Oh, thank you. If your typewriter should need repair again, don't be surprised.
Selenium chemicals?
Put me through to Mr. Kennedy's office. It's about his television appearance.
First of all, could you give me the name and serial number of the boy's watch?
It's a Longines. Number is 17/3468.
Just a moment, please. I think this is it, sir.
Hello? Hello?
He's through.
Hello? Hello?
I'm sorry, Mr. Kennedy. He cut off. Selenium chemicals?
Next time I phone, no monkey business. Put me straight through to Kennedy.
They think I'm going to play the hysterical father. Well, they're wrong. This is a deal. A business deal. A lousy run. Somebody has what I want. They expect to get paid. They'll get paid. I always pay.
Kid will cost you £10,000 in used £5 notes.
Where do I leave it?
You'll be told later.
What about my son?
What about...
He's asked for 10,000.
What about Kennedy?
Wanted to know about his kid, poor devil. Felt like an eavesdropper. Oh, I hate this tapping business, even when we have to do it. Pat, would you come in, please?
Yes, sir.
I've got £4,000 in the safe. Tell Lewis in charge of accounts. I want another £16,000.
But, Mr. Kennedy,
Yes, what?
£16,000?
16. And be sure to tell him they must be in used bills.
Well, you've got a dead liberty coming in here. Who do you think you are? Lay off, Benny. Don't get ideas.
I got them from you in the first place.
I've got a bad memory. You getting nervous?
It's taking too long. I told Feist.
You've got a nerve. Why should he listen to you? He done all right on the last two.
Yeah, he did.
So? It was his brains and your... Lover boy, do me a favor. Stop griping. Just make sure you got things organized like he told you.
The pickups? It's fixed hours ago. Everything's all set.
Kennedy, here it is. Phone boxes in Notting Hill Gate Underground. 10 tonight. Phone box marked out of order.
Boy. Could you tell me anything about the boy?
He has red hair.
So far, true to form. Keep you on the rack, prevent you coming to us?
Yes. I should have known that. I've read about it in the States often enough. But you just can't imagine it happening to you.
I know. I'm afraid it's going to get worse. But I'm sure you're prepared to face that. You see, it's their method of collecting. Money passes from place to place in a chain, changing hands, in carefully prepared moves. And if we miss one of those moves, well, then the money reaches its destination. End of stage 1. Stage 2, they raise the price.
Even if he's no longer up?
No, no. In all the cases we know of, the child is always alive at this stage. Other refinements are possible. You mustn't let the thought of that shake you in what you're going to do, because the next move is yours. Let us not suspect that the police are trying to break that chain. You're on your own, I'm afraid, until you telephone me. Okay? Good luck.
Pat.
Yes, sir.
Would you please ask the volunteers to come in?
Yes, sir.
All right. Relax. Last night you made me an offer of your help. And you did help. Now I'm taking up on that offer again. If your answer is no, all I ask is that you not talk about it outside this room. And no hard feelings. I've been told to deliver 10,000 pounds. I'm sending 20. There's a reason for this. But you don't have to know that reason. This package will move through a lot of hands before it gets to where it has to go. The people who carry it will be efficient, wide awake, dangerous. Twice before they fooled the police. But they have to be followed. Now, I know this is not a unique idea, and we don't think that we're smarter than the police, but, well, for one thing, they tell me most criminals can smell a policeman a mile off. And secondly...
I'll do it, sir. I'll try anything once.
Well, it's not exactly in my line, sir, but you can count on me.
And me, sir.
Give us your plan of campaign, sir. We'll do our best to carry it out.
Fine. We'll meet here at 9 o'clock. Thank you.
What else are we supposed to be doing?
He hates being out of things.
The money's on its way, if that's what you want to know.
How much?
10,000.
Not bad, eh? Well, the way he looked last night, I'd have thought that... Well, I mean, what's 10,000 nicker to him?
That's what he's got to find out. It's like pulling teeth.
Hey, what's this with teeth?
Well, if I started to pull your teeth out at £10 a tooth, I'd have to put 1 or 2 out first to find out how much you could stand.
I don't see
now,
what
you just concentrate on what you've got to do tomorrow morning. The governor's got far too much on his mind without being bothered with stupid questions.
I wonder how he'll handle it.
Kennedy, sir?
One thing I'm quite sure, he'll organize the thing from that big desk of his. He'll have them telephone him, or maybe use some other method.
You think he may do something stupid, sir?
What do you?
Well, it's this attitude that fighting a completely ruthless criminal setup is just a business deal.
I don't think you've got his size yet.
Oh, I know he's quite a big shot.
Yeah. He started in a perfectly ordinary school, worked his way up. Graduated, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, with honors, chemical engineering, entered industry as an assistant in chemical research division. He was a millionaire before he was 30.
No funny business?
None whatever. The record's as clean as a whistle.
He did it quite honestly, from nothing. Beyond me.
Oh, there are some people who are unstoppable, you know. So they've got a sort of dynamo built into them of relentless energy.
Pretty frightening.
Hey, what are you playing at?
I'm having a tug of war.
Hey, where's that big ape? Can't he tell the time?
All right, get out. Did she hit you or anything? I spoke to your dad today.
When's he coming to get me?
Tomorrow. He wants you to write him a letter. You know, tell him that your food's good. Did you hear what I said? Tell him it's just like home.
But it isn't like home.
Do you want to see him tomorrow? Heavy, isn't it, Casey?
Yes.
Oh, boys. D-Day, H hour.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Good luck.
Well, they're off.
Still wish we were handling this.
The whole point is to leave it to them. If they're bright, and they wouldn't be working for Kennedy if they weren't. They've got one great advantage over us. They don't look like policemen.
Oh, come, sir. We're not all as obvious as that.
No? It's those raincoats.
Hello. Hello. Couple of drinks and the phone won't work. Hello. Anybody think I was drunk? Yeah. What sort of a phone service is this anyway?
I can't leave until it arrives. No, I'm not ringing from the office. I knew there'd be a bit of a wait, so I just popped out for... Of course I won't miss it. Look, darling, I can't stay any longer. I must rush. No, I mean it.
Quite a performance from Lewis. Didn't know he had it in him.
Stand into Lancaster Gate. If you start towards the Paddington area, you shouldn't be far out.
Harry.
Thanks a lot, old man. Driver, will you please take my friend where he wants to go?
Mr. Kennedy, he's gone into a cafe in Paddington. Mr. Lewis is standing by now.
The second cab's almost there. You and Lewis get back here as soon as you're relieved.
Cab? Wonder what he's up to.
Can I trouble you for a light, sir, please? Yes. I think. That's it? Thanks.
Thank you. Package deal calling center. Package deal calling center. Are you receiving me? Over.
Send her the package deal. I am receiving you. Over.
Second traveler boarded bus. Proceeding West End. I'm following. We should be all right. He's just gone upstairs and there are only 2 other people there.
VHF radio monitors picked up taxi signals. Not on the usual wavelength. It's Kennedy.
Not bad for amateurs.
Just gone into a club in Soho, the Cupid Club. It's not exactly the sort of place our girls would feel at home in.
I know what you mean. You better stay with it. They can cruise at a safe distance and keep in touch by radio in case of emergency.
Want to see the show, sir?
Oh, I don't know. It's a club, isn't it?
Oh, that's all right. We'll fix you up inside.
How much?
Oh, just £1, including the price of the first show.
Do you mind?
Get a drink as well.
He hasn't missed a trick so far. Thank you. Radio monitors again. They've turned back west. Get me T division.
I can see it from here. Then a man arrived and followed it in. Well, the man's come out again and hasn't got the package. It must be still in there. Our taxi's cruising around the back, sir.
Give me the exact address. Right. Sit tight. Stay as close to that box as you safely can. Hazelrig. Inspector Hazelrig, please. Kennedy. One of my men is in or near a... What? What's that?
I said I know. Some of our men are on their way there now.
You said I could play it my way. You told me nothing about tapping my line.
No. But I give you my word, we shall do absolutely nothing to provoke them into harming your boy.
Time you are on your way.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Do you think the boy's in there?
Where do you think you're going?
All right. Yeah. I said 10,000.
So?
Well, they're in fives, aren't they?
So they're in fives?
Well, there's more than 10 in there.
You're joking, Penny.
Yeah. You'll never get away with it.
Look, suppose I start counting. You watch the window.
All right.
Is that moonlight?
Oh, I see a cab.
You better make certain it's not someone else. You can see through the window on the landing.
Nobody's come out yet. I wonder if they got out at the back.
I think it's moonlight. How much over?
1,000 of the best.
That's 250 quid each.
Not much of a bonus.
We'll split 4 ways.
I never was good at division. I'll make it 500 each.
When are you going in?
We're not. Our orders are no rough stuff, just in case the boy's there.
It's all here, Mr. Feist.
Relax, he's fast asleep. Only want a cigarette. Oh.
Sorry. I'm out, too.
Get back upstairs, you stupid cow.
Can't I finish this?
Let me go. Take it easy, you're handling a lot of money.
Let me go! Let me go! Let me go!
Never known you run out of cigarettes before.
Well,
You wouldn't double-cross our Mr. Feist, would you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
That felt like a packet of 50 cigarettes in your pocket.
50? All right, Minnie, all right. I'll just keep it quiet and there's £500 in it for you.
Might be worth more to Mr. Feist.
Let me go!
I'd like to know where you got this. Moonlight doesn't like people who don't tell me the truth.
It was Rocky.
Go on.
There was more than 10 in that packet.
How much more?
Well, Rocky said another 1,000.
Mr. Kennedy's a very intelligent man. I wonder how much more there really is. Is there anything else you haven't told me?
Is there? There was someone hanging around the back when we came out. We gave him a slip.
Now you tell me.
There wasn't a police, I swear it. It must have been one of Kennedy's men.
You better stay and watch the kid.
But about the money, honest.
All right. I believe you.
Mr. Kennedy. Hazelrigg speaking. I've just had a radio message. They've made a clean getaway. I've no details, but I'm afraid the chain's not broken.
You said you didn't have any cigarettes.
Good morning. Not your typewriter this time, the one in there, please.
It's okay, Alan. It's okay. You don't have to reproach yourselves about anything.
Oh, it's just that we got so near.
Inspector Hazelrigg, sir.
Hello. All right, Inspector. I know. I loused it up.
Not at all. We're making progress.
What, after last night's fiasco?
You and your friends did a very good job.
Thanks. What's the use?
You'll be no use to me at all if you don't get some sleep. And Alan, thanks.
Yes, sir.
So the chain broke again. Still running the form. That's what you mean, isn't it?
No. We've succeeded in identifying the man who went into that house last night. That is a Mr. Rocky Devine. Well, a strange thing happened this morning. Mr. Devine was fished out of the pond on Hampstead Heath. Apparently his neck had been broken before he went into the water.
You sure this is the man?
Oh, quite sure.
Up on the Heath. It's not far from where I live. Pat, could you please send me a large-scale map of London?
Yes, sir.
Get it fast.
What time was this?
About 5 a.m.
5 a.m. It's not long after the chain.
Exactly.
We know who this man works for. Oh, we don't always catch our criminals, but we try to keep tabs on them. It's a man called Feist, Anton Feist. His trade used to be vice, but now that we've cleared the ladies off the streets, it's quite possible he may be looking for a new source of revenue.
Could you find him?
Spends most of his time on the continent. We think he came back to England about a month ago.
This other photo, could he be a killer?
Hardly. He's not got that sort of record. There's somebody else in the Feist setup. A man who goes by the name of Jackson. Moonlight Jackson. He's as strong as an ox and just about as stupid. He could crush you between his finger and his thumb.
And Mr. Devine's neck was broken.
Mm-hmm. What does not make sense is why he was killed. Why at the precise moment when he's handling that money successfully?
I think I know why. I didn't send them what they asked for. They wanted 10. I sent 20.
I don't think you told me that.
To me, this is a business transaction. The little people who took the money to Feist or wherever it went, they're sort of like middlemen.
They asked for 10 and you sent 20.
I figured that someone, somewhere along the line, would stop and...
break the chain?
It looks like it. Our late friend, Mr. Devine,
helped himself to a bonus and ended up in the pond on Hampstead Heath.
Inspector.
Yes?
Well,
something else you haven't told me?
You're going to be pretty sore at me for this.
Now look here. I understand why you've kept certain moves to yourself. I've done the same thing. But I don't think that sort of thing is necessary anymore, do you?
This came by post less than an hour ago. It's from my son.
Dear Dad, the man said I should write to you. I'm all right, plenty to eat. Just like home or close enough.
Yes, that's why Hampstead ties in.
Old Faithful.
Old Faithful. That's what we call Big Ben. You can see it from the office here, or from our house on Hampstead.
Old Faithful, my new watch is still in front of me. I look at it all the time. Love, Jimmy. He's smart, isn't he? You're quite sure about the handwriting? Well, in that case, I've got a lot to do in a very short time. How did you come to have such a smart boy?
He's just on edge. Keep him at it.
The map, sir. London.
Oh. Oh, thank you.
I don't like people to be nervy on a job like this.
So we don't have to be nervy. But what about Rocky?
I don't like people who tell me lies either.
And bumping off was part of the plan too, eh?
A job like this can't go wrong if everybody does exactly as they're told. I eliminated somebody who didn't understand what the word exactly meant. Result? A bigger cut of 20,000 for you. All you have to worry about is doing exactly what you're told and we get an answer to this. You're going to end up with a lot of money if you remember that.
It's all right. I'm all right.
He wants to relax.
Well, let him relax.
You're the expert.
You heard what the man said.
Yeah, I heard.
I wouldn't like to be Kennedy just now. How's he bearing up?
Oh, all right. But we must keep him at it. I'm just afraid that that dynamo might blow up.
These are the largest scale ordnance survey maps you can get. Some of them are missing. I'm trying to get hold of them. We're trying to check on all the estate agents in the Hampstead area. The police have got onto one or two of them, but so far we've had no luck.
All right.
I'm going to see if...
All right. Who am I trying to kid?
Hazelrig? Yes, Mr. Kennedy. We're going flat out now. We've already telephoned every estate agent in the area. And we're calling on anyone who's given us a lead. Every policeman on the beat is checking with the tradesmen, with the post office, with shops that carry advertisements for flats, houses, apartments. But look, Mr. Kennedy, one thing is very, very important. You must keep it this yourself. If your boy's in Hampstead, and I'm quite sure he is, together we're going to find him. Believe me, we could make contact at any moment now. Found it. Oh, by the way, there's a letter for you downstairs, I think, attached to your car. I couldn't very well bring it up myself, but I asked your secretary to get it. Yes, here we are. There's the house. All ready to move in.
But you can't.
Well, that's what we've got to talk about.
No, you can't. If you move in, Jimmy's life won't be worth a plug nickel. The irony. We found the house. And what? What do we do?
Not sure. So we can't approach that place without being seen.
This was found on the handle of your car.
Thanks.
Wonder how long it'll be before the instructions arrive.
Inspector, why wait? They want to be paid, I'll pay them sooner than expected. I'll take it there myself.
Mr. Kennedy.
There's only one person in the world who can go up to the door of that house and simply knock. Just knock. The boy's father. None of your people dare come close without all hell breaking loose. I know, it's a risk, it's a gamble. But what has Vice got to lose? What? What's inside? It's up to me.
A responsible police officer could give that permission to no one.
No one else is the boy's father.
Mr. Kennedy, I very much regret. I am unable to grant your request. If, on the other hand, the boy's father, without my knowledge, were foolish enough to make the attempt unarmed, the police would be bound to find out very quickly. Couldn't take them longer than 3 minutes. Then they would have to move in. Well, I'll telephone you as quickly as I possibly can. I think you should know what the police moves are, don't you?
Thank you, Inspector. Thank you.
No, it couldn't possibly take them longer than 3 minutes.
Has Alan gone home? No, Mr. Kennedy. Send him in, please. Alan, you've seen all the field tests of this gadget, haven't you?
Yes, sir.
Successful, I believe.
Well, you mean as a fire extinguisher?
No, not as a fire extinguisher. In its other capacity.
I've never seen anything like it. Quite terrifying, sir.
Thank you.
Officer, it's Kennedy. I thought you said they'd never find this place. You can let him walk in here?
Yes.
But the police. Look, if he knows, the police know.
Certainly will if you use that. If they know already, there's nothing we can do. If they don't know, there's no harm in us seeing Kennedy. Mr. Kennedy. What are you selling?
I'm buying. I personally want to conclude our business deal.
The extra 20,000.
More. In any case, no negotiation until I can see what I've come to see.
You're not in a very strong bargaining position, Mr. Kennedy. But you can see your son.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, Jim boy. Be with you in a minute.
You put me in rather an awkward position, Mr. Kennedy. You should have followed my instructions. I've never underestimated your generosity, Mr. Kennedy. But by coming here, you've made it very difficult for me to take advantage of.
Give me my boy, Mr. Feist, and I'll pay you anything.
I'm sure you will. In time. Maybe you have. It could be 100,000. It could be nothing. But even if you brought that amount with you, it's still not enough. However, I may as well relieve you of it. It must be rather heavy. It is.
Get the window.
For heaven's sake, what's this?
Looks like an extinguisher.